What's up? What's going on? What's happening? What's popping? Welcome back to another great episode of Tough Calls with your girl Symone
and your boy Dylan
with the Spizzorts
and your boy Dylan together.
So today, you guys already know what time it is.
Yeah.
Tell them what time it is.
It's Eagles Falcons time, baby. It's time for the NFL football season, and what better way to kick it off than week one, Eagles, Falcons, in Mercedes-Benz Stadium Sunday, 1 o'clock. It's going down.
It's going down. You guys already know me and Dylan are going to be in the building. This is our preview video for Eagles Falcons. Now, we had a couple of lives in the past, so we chirped a little bit here and there. Two birds going at it, you know what I'm saying? Birds of a feather are not flocking together.
At least not this week.
Not this Sunday. So the first thing, we're going to go through this game. Obviously, you had the Falcons winning. Obviously, you had the Eagles winning.
KERRYON.
So let's start off with some key things. We're going to make some tough calls here today. Okay. So let's start off with the fact that, one, both of our teams have brand new head coaches.
Right.
For us, Nick Sirianni, this is his first time being a head coach.
For Arthur Smith, too. Arthur Smith on the Falcons side, first time head coach as well.
And we have a brand new defensive coordinator as well.
And we do too.
Very, very similar. But that's where the similarities end. Where do you want to start? Offense, defense?
As far as the Falcons?
Just the game.
The game? Let's start on the offensive side of the football.
Okay, go ahead.
So, on offense, I really think Arthur Smith, Dave Ragone, they gonna have some people shook, because one thing about the Atlanta Falcons in this new regime under Arthur Smith, we keeping stuff close to the chest. Matt Ryan didn't play a lick during, that's right, close to the chest.
An L.
That belongs on you.
You say you keeping things close to the chest.
Not an L, that's a dub. Anyways, one thing about Arthur Smith and his new Falcons regime, they have kept things close to the chest. Matt Ryan hasn't played a lick of preseason football. Kyle Pitts played for one series. I don't even know if all the offensive line starters played together. Actually, they haven't because Caleb McGarry has been injured most of the preseason, but he's healthy now, and he is actually going to start week one, which all Falcons fans knew he probably would. So, the Eagles aren't going to know what to expect from this Atlanta Falcons offense. I anticipate with all the weapons Arthur Smith has at his disposal, he is going to be very creative. Think about this. We're going to have two tight end sets with Hayden Hurst and Kyle Pitts. Arthur Smith is going to take advantage of that. You know, I hear all this bad talk about Mike Davis and can he be RB1? Yes, he can. I actually think he's going to have a breakout year. Not only because of what he can do in the backfield, but he's very good at catching the football too. And we all remember in 2016 when Matt Ryan had productive running backs and Devonta Freeman and Tevin Coleman who could also catch out of the backfield. They were very good with that as well. And it also doesn't hurt when we have an offensive mind like Kyle Shanahan. But Arthur Smith is no slouch offensively as well. Just look what we did with the Tennessee offense. Granted, we don't have a Derrick Henry on our team, but we got weapons as well. Cordell Patterson can do things in the running game and the passing game as well. Wayne Gallman, who we just picked up, he's a good young running back, so we'll see what we can do with him. And then, of course, we got Calvin Ridley, Russell Gage. I think he's going to have a breakout year this year with a lot of attention going to Calvin Ridley. So I'm like, watch out, because we got a lot of weapons, and I don't think the Eagles really know how to game plan for us, to be honest.
Well, first of all, I'll let you go on your tangent.
You did. I'm going to be quiet.
First of all, yes, you guys had a 1,000-yard rusher in 2016?
That's when we went to the Super Bowl.
Yes. Let me go. Let's remember that was 5 years ago. And 5 years, and when you're 30 plus, as Matt Ryan is, 5 years is like 20 years in football years. So you have a 5+ year age Matt Ryan. Yes, you do. And you talk about you don't know how people are. We're not getting into defense yet. We're talking about each other's offense. You don't know how they're going to game plan for y'all. The same way teams game plan for y'all game last year. Now, the thing about the Eagles, and let me say this about the Falcons. We're talking about offense right now, but I do want to say this about the Falcons offense. The Falcons offense has more familiarity with each other than the Eagles offense do. Matt Ryan has played with Russell Gage, Hayden Hurst, and Calvin Ridley for a season now under his belt. Now, the Eagles offense does have a lot of newness to it, but our offensive line does not. We have Lane Johnson, of course, returning. Brandon Brooks spent all of last season hurt. He is expected to be back this season, starting on the offensive line. We have Jordan Mailata, who has taken a huge leap last season to this season at left tackle. Last season, we also missed our star running back, Miles Sanders, who is back, baby, and ready to bust through those holes that Lane and that Brandon Brooks and Jordan Mailata are going to be creating for him. So not only do we have Miles Sanders now back, number one running back that we didn't have last season, we also have another young running back in Kenneth Gainwell, who Nick Sirianni has already compared to North Carolina State University Wolfpack alum Nyheim Hines, who Nick Sirianni and Indianapolis Colts were able to and continue to use so versatily in the Colts running back room as a pass catcher as well. And Kenneth Gainwell has been showing all of the attributes that Nyheim Hines has. So we have those two running backs that we are hoping we already know what Miles Sanders is, but we're ready and expecting for Kenneth Gainwell to break out as well. And you mentioned two tight end sets. We have that as well in Dallas Goedert and Zach Ertz, who is ready to go. We also have three very speedy wide receivers. DeVonta Smith, Heisman winner, ready to come and break out. We also have Jalen Reagor, who's coming into his second year. He spent most of last season hurt, and he's ready to prove to the world what he can do this year, why he was a first-round pick. Then we also have QUEZ Watkins, a sixth-round pick from last year, who has been shining at training camp and in preseason. So we have all those three speedy guys that will be able to stretch the field. Then we have Jalen Hurts. Now your questions are valid. If you have any questions about Jalen Hurts, he's only played 4 games last season, towards the end of last season, a garbage throwaway season. He played with like 4 different offensive lines last season as well when he did play, and those were games that we were pretty much throwing. So Jalen Hurts did play. The only play time Jalen Hurts had under his belt was pretty much garbage time. And he has brand new coaches that he didn't play with last season either. So you can have questions about Jalen Hurts, and that will be valid because he hasn't proved anything yet. But that protection that we're going to get from the offensive line, I have a lot of faith in Jalen Hurts. Plus, his ability to scramble and be a dual threat. Now, he might get shook here or there being a young, passer, but the legs is true to itself. And you know how to scramble. Scramble translates directly from college to the NFL, whether that deep ball does or not. Also have a lovely stat here that goes to Jalen Hurts' favor. The Falcons allowed the highest amount of 20-plus yard pass plays in 2020. And they tied for 3rd in touchdown receptions allowed. So I think seeing that y'all are returning pretty much the same secondary from last season, I think I'm going to take Jalen Hurts and my speedy receivers and Zach Ertz and Dallas Goedert over that Falcons defense. Now, I will say, when we're talking about this video, I do think the Falcons offense will be more productive than the Eagles offense, only because the Falcons have played together. You have a veteran quarterback in Matt Ryan, and even though Matt Ryan is seeing his better days of football probably 3 years ago, when you're a veteran, you still limit mistakes, and he's going to be limiting much more mistakes than Jalen Hurts will, because Jalen Hurts, is basically still a rookie. So yeah, I do have the Falcons offense being more ready to go right out of the gate, but when we talk about that defense, baby, go ahead. And what you got to say about what I said?
I got a lot of things to say about what you said. First and foremost, if you, being the Eagles, are game planning for the Falcons of last year, let me tell you, you're in for a rude awakening. Why? Because we have a better coaching staff than we did last year. Our coaches last year were atrocious. Okay, we're talking about the Falcons right now, so
you're talking about the Eagles.
I'm talking about what you said about the Falcons, so therefore we're talking about the Falcons. Anywho, if you guys are game planning, I guess I am talking about the Eagles. If you guys are game planning I'm going to talk about the Eagles and the Falcons. If the Eagles are game planning for the Falcons, the way the Falcons played last year, the Eagles are in for a rude awakening. Why? Because Dan Quinn's not here anymore. He was
Jim Schwartz.
He was not a very good head coach.
Neither.
We don't have Derek Cutter here anymore. A not very good offensive coordinator last year. We got Arthur Smith now. Dean Pease. Two very different regimes. Okay. So if y'all want a game plan for the Falcons last year, then y'all gonna have to go to Wake.
Let's talk about Rudy Wakely.
Hold on. I'm not finished yet. When it comes to the defense.
Hold on, we're not doing the. I just gonna say I'm gonna let you go first, but we're not doing it. We're not doing a rundown anymore like we just did offense. That took too long, but it wasn't productive. Let's talk about straight up matchups.
All right.
How are y'all gonna beat the Eagles?
Let me say this one thing first.
Tell me how you gonna beat the Eagles.
Okay, I will. And let me say this about the defense when it comes to beating the Eagles. You just gave all those stats, cool stats, about last year, and you said we had returning starters on the secondary. As a matter of fact, we only have one returning starter.
And who did y'all bring in? Some scrubs.
Eric Harris, starter for the Las Vegas Raiders, a good football team. At least defensively, they were okay. We got Deron Harmon. He's been a journeyman safety, so say what you want about him. AJ Terrell is the only returner who had a very good rookie season.
I'll take my chances.
Fabian Moreau is new. Isaiah Oliver is actually a reserve. He'll play more slot. So if you want to count Isaiah Oliver, who's not technically a starter.
Who is Fabian? Sound like a 90s R&B artist.
You'll see about him when he's picking Jalen Hurts off. Anywho, hold on, let me say one last thing. I'm almost done, I promise. When it comes to Jalen Hurts scrambling, I think this is where, if this was the Falcons of old, I would say yes, I would be very scared of Jalen's legs. But the way DPs has our 3-4 defense set up now, where we have Deion Jones, fast, quick linebacker, can move sideline to sideline. We got Foye Oluokun, who forces fumbles all over the place. He did so last year. Should have been a Pro Bowler. He was close to being a Pro Bowler. We got Dante Fowler Jr. You know about him already. And we have Steven Means, who was our second highest sack person last year.
Y'all didn't have that many sacks, so that says a lot.
But what I am saying is, those four guys are linebackers. When in the past, Dante Fowler Jr. and Steven Means would be down linemen. I think with them being able to be back and linebackers, they will be able to just watch more of the field, see more of the field, and not only get to Jalen Hurts in the backfield, but also if he goes on the run, they'll be able to stop and get move sideline to sideline with their quickness and their speed and their agility and elusiveness, and limit Jalen Hurts or any of these Eagles offensive players any big plays.
Okay, so let's talk about defense, because defense wins championships.
You're right.
And our defense is going to be ready to go day one. Our defense has so much continuity, and we have so many returning stars to our defense. So week one, when Kyle Pitts is trying to figure out Matt Ryan, like you said, they barely played preseason. When Arthur Smith is trying to figure out Matt, who's played with the same coach for a while, who has his own ways, who's missing Julio Jones. When Arthur Smith is trying to get Mike Davis going, we're already going to be knowing what we're doing, because our defensive line has been played together. Our secondary has experience together as well, same as our linebacker group. So they're going to go out and do what they do, and that's get tackles. We were third in the league in sacks last season. Okay. We were third in the league in sacks last season, and we're bringing everybody back. Plus Ryan Kerry.
Who's good.
As a reserve.
I like Ryan Kerry.
And Josh Sweat, who's coming in, booming. His third season in the league, getting better and better. Brandon Graham, Fletcher Cox, Javon Hargrave, who spent most of the season hurt last season, is going to be back 100%. And we were third in the league in sacks. And we're bringing all of them dudes back. Plus, we have a better defensive coordinator in Jonathan Gannon as well. This season as well, think about how y'all going to try to run through that. Mike Davis is shaking in his boots. Also, I saw something online that said Mr. Mayfield of the Atlanta Falcons. Are you familiar? Jalen Mayfield will be a rookie, going to be matching up with Fletcher Cox.
That is not good. I will give you that.
And who's your center? Matthew Hennessy?
Matt Hennessy, yes.
He better be taking some drinks after the game. It's going to be Matt Hennessy, Jalen Mayfield, and Mike Davis trying to make some run game magic against Fletcher Cox, the Garay, the Digger, and Brandon Graham.
Now,
trying to protect Matt Ryan, who can't take any more hits on him. Okay. Also, it's going to be, like I said, throughout the season, y'all offense is going to, I like y'all offense, not the running game. I like y'all passing game. Y'all have Kyle Pitts, y'all have Hayden Hurst, Calvin. You can't deny that. And like I said, you have a veteran quarterback, and even though he's just a game manager, that's big because he has playmakers, and all he really needs to do is limit mistakes, like we were saying before. But week 1, that offense isn't going to be ready. Week 1, going against a defense, like I said, who has chemistry, who's played a Super Bowl defensive line.
This is true. I heard.
They're not going to be ready.
Heard no lies.
And then let's not mention Darius Slay versus Calvin Ridley. We'll watch that matchup, but I like Darius Slay's speed. I think Darius Slay can match with Calvin Ridley. I'm not saying he's going to dominate, but if there's anybody I want in Calvin Ridley, it'll be Darius Slay.
That's fair.
Then we have Steven Nelson coming in as well as our cornerback 2. We have Avonta Maddox in the slot, and he thrives in the slot. He was forced to play on the outside last year, but he thrives in the slot. We have Anthony Harris, former safety from the Minnesota Vikings, who has already played with Jonathan Gannon before. And also we have Eric Wilson, linebacker from the Vikings. So that's 2 new guys on the defense, but they've already played with our defensive coordinator. So they already know what to expect there. Plus Alex Singleton, the linebacker group, Mike Davis, try to get through that if you do squeeze by the grave digger.
I will say this. The biggest advantage you all have is your defensive line. This is where the game is going to be won or lost by the Atlanta Falcons.
So, baby, you just admitted a loss.
No, I didn't.
You
I
said it's going to be won or lost. Y'all not beating that?
Listen, there are ways to beat a blitz, and I'm about to break that down here in a second. The way I think the Atlanta Falcons can overcome, because when it comes to y'all defensive line against our offensive line, I would lose all credibility if I said our offensive line was better than your defensive line, because it's just not.
And y'all need an offensive line to get Pitts going, to get Mike Davis going, to get Matt Ryan going, and you don't have it.
But again, Matt Ryan is a veteran quarterback who has seen many blitzes many of times.
So all I see is the ball getting thrown out of bounds.
Matt, listen, and Arthur Smith is a good offensive coordinator. And I think we will beat y'all. It'll be death by paper cuts. We're going to take what y'all give us. We're going to make sure we got our hot routes on lock. We'll get the ball out quick. Matt Ryan get the ball out quick as the best of them. And we'll just get our little 5 yards per game. It'll be death by paper cuts. We'll just march down the field and do what we do. Now, once that defense gets tired, then the second half, we'll take our shots down.
We got depth on the D-line. They're not getting tired.
But early on in the game, we're going to have to dump it down a little bit. That's where Mike Davis being able to catch the ball. The backfield comes in handy. That's where Cordell Patterson being able to be a running back / wide receiver comes in handy. So, what I think, as long as the Atlanta Falcons can give Matt Ryan enough time to at least get to his hot route and at least throw a little 5-yard slant or whatever it is, Arthur Smith will have something ready in the short game, because we won't be able to take any deep shots early on in the game. I don't think we will. And as long as we somewhat establish the running game, so as long as we can just hold off that defensive line long enough,
won't be able to.
Then we'll be fine. So that's what the game's gonna be, won or lost.
And we have some legit, like I said, they managed maybe to squeeze past the D-line. We got some legit linebackers ready for y'all. And we talk about run game, and he's talking about manage. Our run game is gonna be a piece of mud cake. Like I said, Miles Sanders is coming back hungry, okay? Hungry. Let's not forget what Miles Sanders did before he was hurt, and he's still young. The knees aren't rusty. So he's ready to come back and remind people who he is. Plus, like I said, we got a pass catcher as well in Kenneth Gainwell. We're going to have that good 1-2 punch going. Like I said, our wide receivers might be young and inexperienced, but DeVonta Smith is a big play guy, and the hands are going to be short. 2, we still have the veteran 2 tight end set. We still have Zach Ertz, who is going to continue to be a red zone target, and we're going to have Dallas Goedert as well. The run game is going to be one of our strengths. Like I said, especially since our offensive line, as of right now, is back healthy. Our run game is going to be our strength, especially since you're going to have to watch out for that dual threat of Jalen Hurts as well. So when you ask me, we're summarizing how we're going to beat the Atlanta Falcons. I'm going to tell you how. By our defense is going to set the tone. When we put that pressure on Matt Ryan, when we limit that run game, force him to have to throw the entire time. Darius Slay going to step up, be locked down. Steven Nelson's going to step up, be locked down. Really putting that pressure up front and forcing them to show why these Kyle Pitts, this is debut. I imagine he's going to have a very successful year. But day one, like you said, they weren't playing that much together in preseason. We're going to put that pressure on the Atlanta Falcons. And like I said, too, I'll take my defensive line over their offensive line and our offensive line over their defensive line. It's going to be one in the trenches by the Eagles.
I don't think so. I think the way we beat y'all is, now, are y'all going to put pressure on us? Yes. Are y'all going to get home once in a while? Maybe. But I think this game is going to be won by the offensive game planning and the offense of the Atlanta Falcons. And also, I think this game is going to be won by one big play by our defense. I think Jalen Hurts is going to make a mistake out there, maybe two. And where he gives us back the football, he's going to put your defense in a bad situation when the Falcons will capitalize. So I think it's going to be the offensive game plan of Arthur Smith. You guys won't be ready for what you're going to see out there on Sunday. We'll take advantage. Defense going to come up with a couple of big plays here and there. They won't have to do too much. They just won't have to break. And the Atlanta Falcons will find a way to win. It's going to be close.
Good luck with that. Defense, just please don't break. Good luck with that. Guys.
They'll get some turnovers.
We're going to see what goes down in the Benz, Mercedes-Benz Sunday, 1 p.m. Be there or be square.
Period. We're going to have you a nice vlog for you.
Yeah, make sure you tap into the vlog.
Yeah.
Make sure y'all are commenting y'all score predictions for the game. Let us know what you guys think. And until we talk to you guys next time.
Whoa, hold up. Speaking of score predictions.
I don't do score predictions.
You don't do score predictions? Okay, well.
You can do it.
I'm going to say 21-17 Falcons.
Boo. We're not giving up that many points.
We'll see.
But, until I talk to you guys next time.